This is Zach from Missouri.
Zach from Missouri, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I've called in a couple times. I'm the one time y'all clipped a video of me calling in and called me a religious anti-vax, and I was really upset. And then I listened to the clip, and I was like, wow, I really sound like one. So it was a real reality check.
Okay.
Anyways.
I didn't remember your
I don't remember the call, but that says a lot about your self-reflection, and probably we were a little bit mean. So
there you go.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I as soon as the call was answered, I was like, oh yeah, I admitted to being. Anyways, my comment is about in general the mindset in the Midwest, and don't want to paint with too broad a brush, but I was raised in a very religious upbringing, and I find it to be true in most religious settings where I go. An anecdote is a friend of mine, his child got tuberculosis in his spine when he was just a baby. It was a horrible, long, drawn-out experience. But his brother-in-law, a very religious man, never said this to his face, but at one point said that because of his wife, my friend's wife, and him having gotten pregnant with their son prior to being married was God's judgment. And him getting sick. And, you hear something like that, and that sick of a statement doesn't really set in until you leave that mindset yourself. And I reflect on this a lot, and I actually am still in contact with the guy who had made that comment about them being, sinners, and he's changed a lot himself and come a long way. But in general, that type of mindset is very pervasive in the religious world, and I think it is illustrative of this whole conversation they're having about abortion now. Well, if you're pregnant, then you deserved it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's why they also. I'll go even further, just to add to your point.
Yeah, please.
It's why when a woman maybe loses a baby, needs an abortion procedure to make sure that her health is okay, has a miscarriage, they on some level they also blame her for not being a perfect vessel for said child.
I think that him being willing, religious people being willing to say that part out loud, they're not saying what they really think, the darkest part out loud, which is if she dies, then she deserved it. I mean, if they're willing to say something that sick out loud, and I mean, obviously it's just an anecdote of my friend saying that but in general, when I talk to people, I get into debates. I live in the Midwest. All my friends are conservative for the most part. It seems like I married the only liberal I know. But when I get into the debate with them, the first thing I ask them is, do you think abortion is murder? And they say yes. And so I say, well, there's no debate here, because if you think something's murder, if you've been convinced of that, then you should try your hardest to stop it. And so the brainwashing is so deep, and I'm like, well, I can't convince you that murder is okay, and I can't convince you that abortion's not murder. So, I just move on as quickly as possible. But that was my comment, my anecdote. But I think it illustrates what they truly believe that. And if the maker, and this is going deeper into a religious conversation, but if the creator of the universe is someone that would punish a woman in that way, then that's a fucked up world.
So that's how they can square the circle of, like, abortion is murder, but if the woman dies from a pregnancy complication, that's not, because we have banned women's healthcare services for under that premise, then her death is not really murder because that was natural, essentially. Even though we're denying her healthcare.
God's judgment.
Yeah.
God's judgment is also natural.
Yeah.
It's just how the universe works. It's also with AIDS epidemic, and not treating ostracizing homosexual community from our healthcare system and not giving them proper treatment. Well, it's the gay disease and they deserve it. It goes back. It's just that fundamentalist mindset is, and I know Sam talks about this a lot. That's the true issue that we have, is that view of the universe and God, and to confront that is a whole nother project. So anyways, I love what y'all are doing on the front, and love the show.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thanks, Zach.